thank you. What a great opportunity and a beautiful gathering of this great community. So, thank you to Mel for letting me just have this platform. My name's Tanaya Meaders, and if you didn't know it, I share a name with Melissa. It's her middle name, so I'm her sister in love, and super grateful to be a part of her family and a part of her friend network. So I'm just really honored to have this opportunity. I'm not like the best presenter in the world. I'm way more conversational. So let's please make this conversational. It will help me tremendously. But my background is a cardiovascular nurse and a mom and a business owner, and I'm pretty passionate about healthcare in general, cardiovascular care specifically in the women's sector. So this is a beautiful audience for me. So thank you so much. I'm based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and born and raised here. So I haven't flown too far from home, but I do spend a good bit of my work life traveling through the country and really the world, talking about heart health, cardiovascular health, and the things that we should maybe pay attention to. And I like to usually start with saying when your heart is talking, it's talking every day, all day, it beats about 100,000 times a day, which is wild. And I like to start the conversation with, are we listening to it? So there's several ways to take that, right? So when we have conversations about heart health, there's kind of two buckets. One is, are we listening to the things you all know, like our medical conversation, our blood pressure, our cholesterol, our exercise, our nutrition, the typical things that we think about. But the second conversation, I think, is more interesting to me, and it's how we're taking care of ourselves and if we're actually listening to our own intuitive self. And women, not to be stereotypical, can be a little bit of go-getters and preoccupied with everyone else's agenda and health. Often that allows us not to pay attention. Um, Not really from a malice standpoint. I don't think any of us want our health to deteriorate. We just tend to fall to priority a little less. I think that's changing. I see that more changing in general. Maybe it's our generation that's doing it. I'd like to think so. But it's hugely important as caregivers and as women that we don't only think about our children and our parents and our spouses and our businesses, but we also listen to ourselves, like literally listen and pay attention to our own heart and not like, oh, I'll do that next year or I'll do that at that appointment or when I'm older. The older I become, the more I realize older just is it's relative, right? So it's more about now, and I don't think it's like beating a dead horse here of why you'd want to talk about heart health. Cardiovascular disease is still the leading cause of death for women in the United States, well, and pretty much globally, depending on some pockets. But it's particularly important for many factors that contribute to cardiovascular disease because they're modifiable. And so, really paying attention to the preventative work that we do can be hugely life-changing. And so, a lot of misconceptions are, well, I'm just not old enough to worry about my heart health. And I think that it's important to understand your heart does not care how old you are. And I care for patients, with congenital heart defects as young children, all the way up to really young 90s, right? And when we think about preparing our heart and listening to our heart and understanding our numbers, it's no different than building a business. So, how we take care of our heart and how we listen to our heart now is preparing us for how we want to live. So, in your go-go years, like in your I'm going to retire, whatever that age is for you, or I'm never retiring and I want to do this, whatever that is for you, how we're handling that heart health, how we're thinking about it now is really imperative to how you'll be able to function. So just tangibly, let's take those two buckets, knowing our numbers. Goodness, there are societies and numbers that just get thrown everywhere. You need to be in this range and this range, and this is normal and this isn't normal. It can be overwhelming. You should take this. Oh, absolutely don't take that. Well, my physician said this, and my naturalist said this, and my mentor says this, and my dad said that, right? And so there's just all these influences. I'm an atypical clinician in the fact that I don't really care if levels are normal. I like them to be optimal for where you are. Because sometimes your numbers can fall in traditional normalcy, but they're not optimal for you. And that's really like your thumbprint. It's as colloquial as you are. It's really unique. So no plugs, but here's a slight one. Make sure in your advocacy of heart health that you're with a team or a provider or a coach or a health instructor or a licensed healthcare provider who listens, because this whole thing's about listening to your heart. So if something's off, we're like life givers. We're really, really in tune to things being off, and um, you're your number one advocacy. So numbers are important, and the numbers you should know are basic things like your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your blood sugar, your weight, and then your personal family history. So that does genetics, unfortunately, do play a part here. So knowing those, but don't think about it like these are just lab reports and these are these static numbers that I have to hit. It's not like that. There's going to be times in your life when your numbers are really not optimal for you. And that's okay. The beauty about our health is it's fluid. So we'll go through seasons, and our bodies were created to do that. Again, we're life givers, whether you're choose to be a parent or not. If you have gone through pregnancy, you know what your body can do and what it sustains and how it changes. And then as you deal with chronicity, the same thing happens. Your body is so this amazing machine, really amazing machine. So it's more about asking, what do these numbers mean for me? And are they optimal for just my individual risk? And again, making sure you have a provider or a partner that can break that down for you because it'll be unique to you. It's not just an AHA guideline. And then I just think this community is huge because I'm probably not telling you anything that you don't know, but we present as women so different than the typical cardiovascular presentation. So I worked in an ER for a long time, and a male patient could come in, and I could be like, "Oh my goodness, they're having a heart attack right now, or they're having, a major cardiovascular event." And women come in with the most unassuming symptoms if they come in. They usually have waited 3 or 4 days. They had to get the dog, they had to get laundry, they had to do all these things, and they've come in with a slight toothache just in the jaw here, and they think, oh gosh, I couldn't get him my dentist. So I just maybe it's an abscess. Can you guys just write me something and we'll hook them up on a 12 lead EKG and they're having this massive heart attack. And they've just masked it. Or they'll come in with shoulder blade pain. Like, and oh, I was lifting, or I had this one lady, I was wallpapering 2 nights ago. So certainly I've just pulled this muscle. No, dear, you're having a heart attack. But I bet you the wallpaper looks amazing. I'm sure you finished it. I'm sure you finished the project and it looks great. So women just experience it totally different. The arm, the shoulder, the back, the jaw. Um, Unusual fatigue. I don't like to say fatigue because depending on where you are in your hormonal journey, yes, fatigue, it's a thing. Like, how would we be able to differentiate that? So that's not a really good one. But you do know, women do know, like that kind of underlying nausea. We're not really people to usually get that often. So that or any kind of diaphoretic changes, that sweatiness minus hot flashes. Like again, you see how much of this can mimic hormonal changes, and unfortunately that gets dismissed a good bit. This is menopause, this is perimenopause. So just goodness gracious, making sure that we're going to people who listen and that you listen the most to yourself because you know your body. It's your body, it's your vessel. So instead of saying I'm just stressed or haven't been sleeping or I'm getting older, I need to work out more, it might just be good to listen to yourself and not those that talk and say, well, you know, I should get this further investigated. So those are your numbers. And then just to bring it home personally, I'm super passionate specifically about listening to the heart because that's what I do for a living. I work for a medical device company. I'm a clinician, but I've transitioned into a medical device company that's actually taken an application on your phone to be able to listen to your own heart, and it listens to your heart. We've probably been listening, if you think about the typical a medical symbol is a stethoscope, and we've been listening to hearts for over 200 years. And there's so much that's like really, really rich in your heart sound. So if you think about it, what I just said is we're beating around 100,000 times a day, and every time it beats, we're creating this acoustic information. And everyone sounds a little different, but they pretty much all beat in the same cycle. So most music, not to get too nerded out on this, I'm an acoustical person, but most music comes from a two beat. It's the same as your S1, S2 node sound. It's the same beat. Native American drums beat the same way. This is the first sound you hear in utero as your ears develop. It's your mother's heart rate, heartbeat. So there's just a lot of acoustical patterns in the world. Nature itself has a ton of them as well. If you put leads onto different plants, they give you vibrative tones that are acoustical. And so we all have these life flow sounds. Ours are in our S1, S2 sound, which is just your heart beating. And for generations, clinicians have used this to kind of diagnose and get an understanding. So one of the things that we detect is murmurs, and a murmur is just a sound that's different. And what that usually tells you is that your heart is not doing something appropriately, and it's usually at the valvular level. So you have four valves in your heart, and they keep your blood going in the right direction in your heart. So as you age, it's really common for those valves to get stiff. It's called stenosis. And so that creates a big problem, increases pressure, or your valves get a little lax and then they regurgitate and the blood doesn't flow the same way that it's supposed to. And women specifically, this usually starts to happen around the age of 60 to 65. They will say, "Oh, I'm a little short of breath. I'm tired. I've gained a little weight. It's menopause. My hormones are off." When it's really a valve that needs to be replaced. And it's like a 30-minute procedure and you're glorious after you get it done. Like you can like do all these things. So I like to bring awareness to valvular heart disease because it's really primarily pushed and screened more for men than women. So, you know, just think about when you go to your physician, and if you do a yearly, or with your GYN and you do a yearly, they should be putting a stethoscope on you to listen. Your heart says a lot, and just ask, "Hey, what are you hearing? Everything sound good in there?" You know, you can ask. You can be that person who likes to advocate for themselves. So technology is awesome. We're iterating there, and that's super fun. But the reality is, you're still your best advocate, and partnering with that's good. So moving your body, trying not to smoke, getting enough sleep, all the things AHA, which is the American Heart Association, all the things they tell us to do. Know your cholesterol, know your blood sugar, know your medications, know what you're on, know how they affect other things, and then don't ignore the changes in your body. It's kind of a big deal. So if I could give just major take-home advices, it's on advocacy for yourself, which I feel like everybody's heard a reel or something. Oh, you need to listen to, da, da, da. But I just don't think we do it. I think that we're big advocates for other people, and we're like, yes, girl, yes, you should do that. Oh, absolutely. Why did you not listen to that? Well, I can't believe you let yourself get like that. We're the ones who do it to ourselves, probably the most. So if you're going through different hormonal changes like menopause, whatever, your health is changing. It's a go-go time. It's an influx time for you to ask about all the supplements. Maybe that works for you. Ask about HRT. Maybe that works for you. Ask about all the things, explore all of it and see what is best for you. So in a challenging way, know your numbers, know your history, know your symptoms, listen to your body. Don't wait for crisis. It's so much harder for us to help once you're in that crisis mode. And, again, what are you shooting for in the next 10, 15 years? What do you want to look like? Like if you've got little kids, you want to be, doing high school and all the fun things. If you're retiring, you want to be traveling, or maybe you're building a business. Maybe all of this requires sustenance, right? All of this requires something of energy of ourself. And so, starting something new at 65, picking up a new hobby, all of these things require energy, and your heart is the one thing you really can't go without. It's essential. It's super essential. So you have to just be good to it, and it's pliable. That's the great thing is is it'll be good to you if you're good to it. Um, but you've got to listen to it. So, and if you have your own stethoscope at home, listen to your own heart. It's really cool. It's really fun to listen to and figure out. So I've been chatting because I can talk for days on heart health, and I don't like to throw figures out. I mean, I certainly can go over individually with ever, but standards change and shift all the time, and you're in flux with all this data. So you're like, yeah. But if you have any glaring questions, I'd love to take those. Or if you have any things you want to vet or suggestions, please, please.
I'm curious about the connection of, I don't have this, but the connection of the jaw and the tooth with the heart is that's fascinating.
Yeah, so it's called referred pain. So a lot of times when angina is typical heart pain in the chest, that crushing chest pain, people typically feel, men feel like there's an elephant on their chest. Women will have the most, it's like, oh, my jaw. And it really is probably vagal nerve. It's just referred pain. It's just the way it's manifesting. Or women be just stronger, pain tolerant.
Yes.
As a nurse, I can say that. And I have a son and I love men. I'm not trying to be like that, but I'm just saying on the whole, I think we present different because our pain tolerances are very, very different. So yeah, there's that. She did not, in fact, have a bad tooth. There was nothing wrong with her tooth. It was totally referred pain. It's just how it was presenting. However, I will say as a clinician, I was a triage nurse, was trying to move them through, right? Um, I had a really wise nurse mentor teach me that women can come in and look great. She looked great. She didn't look diaphoretic or her heart rate was actually great. Put her on a pulse ox, sat at 100%. So had I not put a 12 lead on her, I never would have seen it. I would have sent her home and that would have been tragic. She would have had a very different outcome. So, yeah, always ask for a monitor.
And a good mentor.
Yeah, and a great mentor. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fascinating. I love it.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to talk, please do.
You were talking just about genetics, and so if you're dealt that hand,
Yeah.
how what's the best course?
Oh, such a good question. Such a good question. Such a reality because we all are dealt this Punnett square of genes that is what it is. So, um, being aware of your family history is huge, right? And then they're unfortunate milestones to remember, but if this is a familiar tendency, paternal or maternal, it's important. It matters. Um, what episodes they had at what age. These are predictive in nature. So if we just know that to start off, like my dad had a massive stroke at 60. He's had 5 heart attacks. They were all in his 50s. Some of this is genetics and some of them are lifestyle modifications. So I can also learn from not doing those things. But with my provider, they are fully aware that I have a loaded family history on my father's side of cardiovascular events. So I'm aware of that too. It's part of my chart. And then a lot of his was due to hyperlipidemia, so really, really high cholesterol. Um, so knowing that, personal opinion, I'm not a huge statin fan. It's just me. It's just me. They work great in other applications, but I tried really hard beginning at age like 30. Diet modification, trying to keep my lipids super, super low, any kind of supplement that I could have, anything from the earth that could be good. And there's so much at our fingertips now with the beauty of AI and how you can pull current research. You don't have to do your own review of literature. So I say all the things, knowing those things, being upfront with your provider. And then, it's like just rowing against the current, man, because you are. I mean, you are. You've got some things stacked up against you. So you just have to, make sure your oar's got two sides, right? And you're just digging in. You're just digging in. You just come at it because it is what it is. But also technology has changed and our medications are changing and all of the things. So technology is beautiful because it can bring you places that our parents didn't have opportunity for. But then I'd reach back and say the good thing our parents had was like pay attention to your farmer, pay attention to your food sourcing, pay that guy, pay that guy, so you don't have to pay this guy as much. So I think there's a blend there. They had better food. We have better technology. Probably somewhere in the middle is ideal for us. Yeah, great question.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And Tanea, like i- as far as preventative, I mean, that's kind of what you've already just spoke about, but are there, besides good exercise, good food, and checking in with their doctors, making sure your numbers are right, is there one other thing that you would put into that or rank
Hmm.
it in a specific way? I mean,
Yeah.
I know we're all different and everybody chooses to be different, of course.
Yeah, and it's good. And it's good. And that's why medicine sometimes fails us because it's quite algorithmic, right? They fit us into these boxes and it's like, hey, I don't feel like I fit there or, I don't want to take a statin. Like that's the first thing you're telling me to do. I don't want to do that. Um, Yeah, I think that the other really beautiful preventative things are getting out of your own way. So that seems redundant, but being your own advocate, but getting out of your own way, like we can hyper manifest these things too. Like I've read everything there is to read about it. I've gone to 9 different doctors. I've da 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 da. You can almost consume yourself with it. And so it's almost like give yourself the right to say, I'm going to do my best today. And you know what? I might eat a cheeseburger and pound a beer and that's going to be okay. It's like that 80-20. I'm a
Yeah,
huge believer in that 80-20. Like give yourself some grace. Also really, really big on grounding. I think there's gorgeous clinical research on grounding. Like get your feet on some soil, like get outside, get some natural sunlight. I promise you it's going to be all right. I know my friends at the American Cancer Society can get mad at me, but like get it on your head. Don't wear dark sunglasses. Let it get into your eyes. Let that retina manifest and convert that vitamin D. I'm big on those things. And then, old proverb that laughter is the best medicine. So, cheers and enjoy people and make connection. Isolation is the petri dish of chronicity. So do community, things like this. Do community, connect. Um, so it's not, yeah, working out's great. Weight bearing exercise, great. Walking, beautiful. Whatever you can do, Pilates, yoga, all the things are great. But also just some like basic things like make sun-kissed tea and listen to a really great Jimi Hendrix song. Like these things fuel our soul. And I think, I'm really big on we're made of a lot of matter of mind, body, and soul. So I've spent my life learning about how to equip the body, which is connected to the mind, but equally is connected to the soul. And in traditional medicine, we skip that piece really big. So all of my patients, everyone that I counsel or coach, I'm big on, I love your workout plan. I love your diet. You're crushing it. Your supplements look awesome. Talk to me about your community.
I
Talk to me
love
about
that.
what you do to have fun. Talk to me about how you unwind. And those are essential skills for heart health. So much of it is just built up here, and we just need to have a good deep breath and not. That's why I'm going to give you a to-do list.
I
To-do
agree.
lists
I
are
think it's
great.
great for overall health. Everything you just
100%.
listed, you know.
100%. 100%. And I really wasn't a grounder until maybe more this time, this part of my life. And I travel so much, but I'm just that weird girl who's like in random Boston trying to find a park to put my feet on ground, and I
You're
feel like I
bringing your Native American roots back.
am. I am. So I think that would be how I would prioritize it is get out of your own head and just live a little.
I love that. Thank you. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's
And
amazing.
your the app, is it available for public or is it
It
is it
is.
just for professional?
It is. You can get it. It doesn't have an over-the-counter indication in the United States, but you still can get it. The AI just doesn't run on it. So say you wanted to just listen to your heart, it's Stethophone in the App Store. It's only on iOS, only on Apple, but you can put your little earbud in and just auscultate and listen, and it's like so amplified, so you really can hear it well. It's super cool. You do have to have a physician for it to run the algorithm to say if there's anything
Right.
going on or whatever. We can't just give that to the FDA won't let us give that to the lay public. I'm not really sure why. I think that everyone should be able to know what's going on with their heart. I don't know if they make
Eventually you will.
it will get there.
Yeah.
That's a part of my job is to help it get there. So
Yeah.
I'm all about the advocacy at the community level. Like enterprise is cool. We all have to make money. I appreciate it, but knowledge is power. So wouldn't it be wonderful to walk into your doctor's office and then be like, oh, it's menopause. And you go, no, actually I have an S3 sound and it's my systolic murmur in this process. Can you, and a little liability, I need you to check that out, you know?
And then
It'd
you
be
can
like,
just drop the phone legit. Like,
exactly. Exactly. That's my Mother Teresa goal. We'll see if it happens. We'll see what happens.
oh, this is awesome. Before I say goodbye to everyone, does anyone have anything else they would like to ask or share?
I'll just say thank you so much for doing this because I do think of it as primarily a male issue. I mean, I know that it's a leading cause of women's death, but but it makes so much sense with all that we carry emotionally too, much more so than men. And yet they're the ones that is the popular, commercial focus of it. So I mean, it's something I have thought of, especially as I've gotten older and postmenopausal, because I know that's when it really hits women. Um, but thank you for Melissa for both of you. I mean, this just puts it for on the forefront and brings it back around to pay attention, especially right now with, you know, all the things. I won't
Pay
go into it,
attention.
but
Yeah, pay attention. And on that note, thank you. Those are very generous words. 1 in 10 Americans, will make them male or female, over the age of 65 have aortic stenosis, which is that valve disease I was talking about. Um, when you get it, it's just progressive. So it's okay. You're okay. You have time. But when it clicks to severe aortic stenosis, it increases your mortality and morbidity by 50%. You have about 24 months after that severe before you have to get that valve or there's nothing we can do. You go into congestive heart failure. So I'd also like to point out that the bulk of the research on all these valves and the valve companies, and these are the people I work with now, it's primarily all male participants. So I'm constantly going into their research and saying, this is not representative of the American populace. This is not representative of what the AHA puts out there. So it's a big again, I love dudes, but it's a big bias. And I think we're just the caregivers of our community, of our families, of our friend groups, of our businesses, and we just carry it all. And people are like, "Oh, she's got it," and we do. We have it, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't listen to our own self. So really valid points, and unfortunately, the landscape validates everything you said.
well, also thank you so much for making it not seem so scary because you
No,
made the valve replacement sound like I was going to get my tooth filled. You make it
literally,
sound so it doesn't sound because I know that a lot of people with all the health issues, you kind of like, I don't even want to look over there because it's so
sure,
scary. So you
sure,
don't pay attention to what could be ailing you, right? And so knowing that
100%.
it's not so, you're not going to be in the hospital for months and months. It's
No,
30 minute,
30 minutes.
procedure.
You will
Who
go home the
knew?
next day. You will go
Because
home
you
the
think
next
of all of that as being so technical and so involved and so intense, and you would avoid it. It's like
and
people
then
that, need a hip replacement. They avoid it forever. And then when they finally do it, they're like, oh, I wish I'd done that years ago,
it's exactly right. I equate it to a carpal tunnel. If you've ever had carpal tunnel, the minute you get that released, you have full total dexterity. It's like the same with your valve. The minute I wake my patient up from the valve after anesthesia wears off, they're like, oh, I'm not short of breath. Like it's immediate. It's immediate. Technology has really perfected this. There are two types of procedures you can get for your valve. One's a little more invasive, but the 90% of people get the TAVR, which is a trans, it's all endo. Like it's all through arterial, no cracking chest, no nothing like this, no bypass, nothing like this. It's very, very easy. You leave with a small band-aid on your groin. That is it, and an IV in your arm. That you get a good 30-minute nap and a new 20 years of no problem with heart health and no congestive heart failure. Because once you flip there, it's your only option is for a heart transplant, and that's a different story.
wow, it's better than a colonoscopy.
100%. You know, prep. There's not even any prep. Exactly. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thanks for allowing me to bring attention to it. And Mel, thank you for lending me this community. You're all beautiful, amazing people. So just listen to your heart, listen to some good music and think about the beat in it. And it's mimicking your S1, S2 sounds.
Let's all
And
go listen to Dolly.
let's go listen to Dolly. Yeah, let's do it. I
Thank
love
you,
it.
Tanaya.
Thank you, Mel.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
guys. Nice to meet you all.
See
Good
you
luck to
next
Jax
month.
tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.